You guys, welcome back to So Bad It's Good. This is your pop culture roundup. We took last week off, which was very necessary. So I'm very excited to be talking to somebody I haven't talked with in a couple of weeks. Truly a gift to writing, to podcasting, to ideas, to women, to all of these.
Humankind.
Sorry. She always tells me what to say, and she said humankind, and I forgot it completely. A gift to humankind at large. You can find her on the podcast So True with Sophie Ross, also her Substack, which is linked, which has kind of amazing deep dive articles every week. Sophie Ross, welcome back. How are we? I just saw you were at a wedding last night.
Hi, I missed you. And yeah, I'm very hungover right now. I took like a 7-hour nap today.
Well, that's called just sleeping. That's called going to bed. That's 7 hours, not a nap. That's actually a full night's sleep.
You know what's funny is that every single like wedding brunch, even my own sister's, I didn't go to my own sister's like Sunday brunch because I was so hungover. Like the concept of early morning wedding brunches, we need to talk about that.
Well, I mean, you really truly are in this vortex of weddings. And I guess that's like one thing that you must be insanely popular and have a lot of people that love you in your life. But at the same time, I'm kind of like now I'm really happy with my decision to be closed off in real life, that I'm not invited to a lot of weddings. Because it seems potentially, even though you and your dude took a really cute couple picture at the wedding, like I was like, I did that old person thing where I was like, that's a handsome couple. Like I even said it in my head. I was like, that is a handsome, and I wasn't even being a smart ass. And then I was like, what? Like lately I'm saying like the oldest words. I'm like, that's a very handsome couple. And
you're like
now you're hungover
on Facebook. Yes. You're a beautiful couple.
Yes. I was like, me and your grandma saw you guys out last night and just thought you looked lovely. Yeah.
We saw you from across the bar.
Yeah. By the way, I shouldn't make a joke about you guys being swingers, but it is funny. Wouldn't it be great? Like a handsome couple asked me to be their third last night.
Oh my God. I wish we were fun like that.
You got your dude had a beer in his hand. I was like, that's a man, dude. Like I would have like some kind of like a Bud Light seltzer or something, something kind of like a White Claw in my hand. And he had like a man beer in his hand.
He is a guy's guy. It's funny because I was showing my friend, one of my friends is single, and I was like, maybe you would like one of my boyfriend's friends. Showed a picture of him and he's wearing like a baseball cap. She was like, that's your type. She was like, I was like, what's my type? And she was like, all American guy. She was
no,
like,
it's like anybody that's on Southern Charm, I think is kind of your guy. Like, I feel like, I mean, I know you like tall. No, I'm
tall, just tall.
But I'm saying if you had never watched Southern Charm and you just met somebody like Austin or Craig, you'd probably be like, oh my God, amazing. If you did not know.
Again, I told you when I met Austin in person, how he was just like really tall. I was like, I can see the appeal. But yeah, my friend was like, my type is more like ambiguously European, maybe wears suspenders and has the title like creative director.
Why do we force ourselves into types? Like because then you either have the type and then you'll eventually go, not even my type, but I really like them, you eventually break the type. Like, why are we typifying anything? It's like Housewives and Housewives rules that I said, like, I was being annoyed with Lisa Rinna already today because she was just like, she had reposted this thing that Leah McSweeney posted about like, yeah, guys, don't go after Kyle's kids. Don't go after this. And Rinna goes, thank you. Never go after the kids. I'm like, why do we even have Housewives rules? Because nobody follows them. You guys don't follow them on the show, and we, the audience, don't follow them out here. So there's no rule. Like, stop trying to make rules because nobody follows them. Lisa Rinna, how many times have we heard her talk shit about other people? And I find it ridiculous when we try to set up Housewives rules.
Right. Also, like, don't go after kids unless it's Garcelle's 14-year-old son.
Yes, then it's cool. See, Sophie, this is what frustrates me. I was just talking about this on a Patreon episode about Ultimate Girls Trip. I said, we so are in this thing of like, we're so cocky with ourselves. We love ourselves sometimes too much, where we can then never admit fault with anything that we ever do. We never are able to look inward. We do not see that we are complete hypocrites. Like, did you watch or did you even catch up on anything yet? Did you get to watch?
I'm all caught up. And I also finally started Ultimate Girls Trip. And
well, I also wanted to talk. I finished Stranger Things.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
I made it through 4 seasons in the last 2 weeks while I was sick.
I can't believe you did that all in 2 weeks.
Well, I was isolating myself for.
Oh yeah. How are you feeling better?
Yeah. I'm testing negative. This is like the first 2 days that I've like not had a pounding headache. So it's been really nice. It just sucked. But Stranger Things, I got to tell you, I mentioned you a couple of times last week because the audience is tired of me talking about Stranger Things because I got so sucked in and I got so involved. And now I'm really sad because like I told you, when you kept talking about it, I thought it was like done. I thought it was like, like, it's the end of the show. I didn't realize there was a whole other season.
Yeah.
Until you told. Yeah. So now I'm like, fuck, how long do I got to wait for the other season?
Probably like 10 more years.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't have this kind of time.
Finn Wolfhard is going to be even more awkward. He's not going to like leave his office. He's just going to get more
awkward. Wait, that's what I kept meaning to text you because you had mentioned on the show, you said, you know, some of them just aren't good actors as they grow up.
Did you think that about Finn Wolfhard?
Well, I thought that about Finn Wolfhard, and I want to know if that's who you thought about or you thought he was good.
Yes, okay. No, that's exactly who I was talking about, that he's just like not a good actor.
And he's so extreme looking that like you so like, listen, but I think he's like extreme looking in the sense that I'm sure a lot of women find him like, he's like weirdly, he'll probably be a model or something, but
compare him to like Timothée Chalamet, but I don't agree. It's like the angular, like strong features and like floppy hair, TikTok hair, you know?
Well, we got a story about Will from Stranger Things this week, but
the Doja Cat,
Doja Cat story. But the thing that I mean, you guys, and spoiler alert, if you're going to watch, you guys probably already watched it, but if you didn't, skip this part. I kept thinking like Eleven and Eleven and Mike are together, right? Like they're boyfriend, girlfriend. Yeah. And his whole hang up was like, I'm not special like she is. Why would she ever like me? And I got to say, in that last season, I was like, yeah, if I was 11, I'd dump your ass. Like, I do not find him special at all. Like, I truly am like, 11 can do so much better. Like so much better. Like not even even when he was like trying to talk to her while she was like fighting Vecna, you know, when he's like, you're the best, you got this, you've got to fight. And I was like, you're annoying, dude. Like, like no shit, she knows she's got to fight. Like it wasn't special to me, you know?
You're amazing, 11.
You're amazing.
Do this.
Yeah.
I got chills. Spoiler. I'm going to mention some spoilers. I got so many chills. First of all, the helicopter scene when she took spoiler when she took down the helicopter, I got chills. And also like Millie Bobby Brown, I feel like the jury's out on whether she's actually a good actress or she's just like,
because she only has to say like 3 or 4 words as she'd be like, I like pizza.
Friends don't lie.
Papa.
But I think that she actually was good, but I think that Sadie Sink was amazing. And if anyone is nominated, I think it needs to be Sadie Sink.
Okay.
And also Joseph Quinn, who plays Eddie Munson, obsessed with Eddie Munson. Like, he was amazing. He's also British in real life. So, like, I feel like that takes extra talent. But his upside down guitar scene, chills. I watched it on YouTube so many times.
You guys, he does this, like, they're in the upside down, and he takes a guitar and he does Master of Puppets by Metallica, which is one of their famous songs. And Metallica, by the way, it's so cute. They're like, yeah, they did like a TikTok, like doing it along with him. And I love when we can all hop on board like a pop culture reference and everybody's like, yeah. And Metallica's like, you guys, if you've never heard us before, we're Metallica and you're welcome to join us at any time. And I was like, yeah. And I think it's so cute. But the Joseph Quinn thing, I even thought about in terms of being British. I literally had these thoughts last night. I was like, fuck those people though. Cause it's like, Americans deserve to play Americans. You know what I'm saying? Like those British people are playing better Americans. Listen, all you see any good at Millie Bobby Brown is British. Like you see any of these TV shows that are worth their salt these days, the whole cast is British doing American, and they're killing the American actor. Like they're better than us at our own accent.
I know. It's crazy. I thought he was like, when I first watched like the first few episodes of the 4th season, I was like, he is an amazing actor. Like the way that he was just embodying the character. I thought he was. And then I thought he was British. I thought he was British. And then I was like, what the hell? That makes it even more impressive.
So, but you're right about Sadie Sink. And you guys, just to, if you didn't know, Sadie Sink is the red-haired actor that was in Taylor Swift's, what's the song? All Too Well 10-minute version, playing the version of Taylor Swift, and Dylan O'Brien was playing the version of Jake Gyllenhaal in that. And so I didn't realize she was in Stranger Things. Like, I totally did not. So when she popped up, also when she pops up, she looks like she's 10. And I was like, creepy. That's the girl. And then I was like, how old was she in the All Too Well video? I was like, this is weird. And thankfully she looks more adult now in this season.
It's so funny that you knew her from that. You were first introduced to her through that video. Well. I was like, oh, it's Sadie Sink from Stranger Things.
Oh, had no clue. I was like, oh, that girl's good. Like, so when she popped up in Stranger Things, I was like, oh, cool. Like, this is, and
you're like, it's the All Too Well girl.
Yeah. By the way, that's what I want to see Eddie Munson doing, is a 10-minute Taylor Swift All Too Well God. To the Upside Down.
She's so lucky that she's forever associated with like two of the best songs ever.
Amazing.
All Too Well and Running Up That Hill. And
I know.
The hill. Made a deal with God.
Yeah, it's great. Listen, the only thing that bums me out, and spoiler alert, is that we don't really know about, like, Sadie Sink has to come back for the next season, but it's like, it's such a cliffhanger they leave it on. But I don't know. There's just something about a bunch of kids. It's like very Goonies to me, which was an 80s movie I love. It like wraps up all these horror, like it's really genuinely scary at times, which I love. I mean, it really goes on all these 80s references. Freddy Krueger, the actor who played it, is in it. Like, it's all just really cool. So anyways, I know you guys are tired of that. One last Stranger Things story is that Doja Cat, the pop star, slid into the actor who plays Will in
Noah Schnapp's.
Noah Schnapp's, yeah. And Noah, he's like 17 or something like that? Or
I think he's probably like, what, 20 now?
No, I think he's like still even younger than that, because
Doja Cat's 17, he's 17.
Yeah, and Doja Cat is like 27, I think. And Doja Cat slipped into Noah's DMs and said, does, the guy who plays Munson, this actor, that Joseph, he's really hot, Doja Cat says, can you give me his info so I can slide into his DMs? And he gives Doja Cat the Instagram information, but then Noah Schnapp makes a TikTok of her DMs, which I thought was hysterical. But Doja Cat then made a TikTok saying how unprofessional it is, and how dare, like, this is like really just borderline, like really bad. And I'm going to let it pass because he's young. But also, like, what about like you're sliding into a 17-year-old's DMs to get somebody's information? That's kind of creepy in itself.
Right. She made it weird. Like, it could have just been like a funny, like, fun thing, and people would have been like, LOL, Doja Cat. And now it's like, what the hell is wrong with you? Like, you are attacking like a teenager now because you reached out to him instead of just like using your own tools to find Joseph Quinn.
It's very Erika Jayne and Garcelle's son all over again in a way.
Oh God.
It's very, but I mean, so also, is that what famous people do? They just slide into each other's DMs when they get famous, and like, that's a newly famous guy, and Doja's like, let me get a crack at that guy.
Yes.
Amazing.
I've like literally heard of so many like people that become like newly famous, like Joe Burrow, for instance. I think he said once that the amount of celebrities that like slide into his DMs, I don't even know, but it's like, that's a thing that just celebrities are like, hey, I'm famous. You're famous.
The blue check mark. We got the blue check mark on Insta. We got the check mark on Twitter. You pay attention to those people more. And by the way, Doja Cat's like, that is, I mean, listen, even when a Bravo celebrity slides into my DMs, and when I say slide, it usually means like LOL at a meme. But like, I even get like, holy shit, man. Like, that's, Dorinda Medley was in my DMs yesterday. I was like, oh, it's like Doja Cat. Like, this is amazing.
That's your Doja Cat.
That's my Doja Cat. Okay, so that's Stranger Things. Amazing. Highly recommend, you guys. But to move it to Bravo, I do want to get your thoughts on Beverly Hills, because we had this episode that I thought going in, just because of the discourse on Twitter, was so fervored and really not, it was talking about the hatefulness, but then also I think the discourse became hateful in a lot of ways. What was your take on this episode? Because so many things happened, between Kyle saying that Sutton's miscarriages didn't happen to Mauricio.
She physically assaulted her.
Like shaking her like a rag doll.
And pointing her finger. It's like, anyone can say whatever the hell they want to Sutton or Garcelle. Like, whatever Diana said to Sutton, I can't even remember, but it was like something very cruel.
You want me to butthead you? You want me to butthead you?
You want your villain? I'll be your villain.
Here I am.
Yeah, here I am. No,
and
but
Kyle came over there in the Rinna role because Rinna wasn't there, but Kyle's horrible at it and ended up looking like an ass going, oh, come on, son. I would have heard about that if you had 2 miscarriages. Like, is Kyle the miscarriage fairy where we tell Kyle when something bad happens to our bodies?
Right. Like how and Sutton is such a genuine, like normal person.
But by the way, but she's a little odd. Come on. I'll be honest. I'm the head of the Sluttons, but she is a little off. And that's what I love about her. Like, I'm not saying she's perfect because she's not.
No, but they always say that she's so socially awkward or like whatever it is. It's like, okay, maybe a little, but like, why are you attacking her about that? There's nothing inherently wrong with being a little socially awkward. It's like,
Teddy Mellencamp has made a whole life out of it.
Oh my God, I know. She's made a whole career out of it, sponsored by her father. But I just think it's ridiculous that they always find something to nitpick about Sutton. And meanwhile, everyone is attacking her from every angle at every moment. And Kyle's just like, well, it's fair.
Kyle, Kyle is not honest with herself because I think at the end of the day, Kyle just doesn't like Sutton, and it's okay. You don't have to like everybody. But to me, Kyle kind of looks down on Sutton and loves making fun of Sutton. Like even in that apology at the dinner the next night with Sutton, she was like, "Oh, you're so hard to apologize to. You are so hard to." Yeah, I'm like, that's not an apology.
Oh my God, worst apology ever. Like she's such a freaking hypocrite. Like the fact that she went after Sutton earlier in the season for like not having enough empathy around like Dorit's may or may not have happened robbery. Yeah, it's just absurd. Kyle is the hypocrite of not having, she's the queen of not having empathy.
Can I ask you a question too? Is that personally, if you got to see your 4 closest friends or, 2 couples that you're close with, they're talking about you and they're saying, you know what? I really enjoy Sophie when she's hammered. You know what? She's so uptight most of the time. And I think it's cool when she cuts loose, when she yells at kids. I think that's amazing. When she hits on other people, like one of our friends' sons, I think that's amazing. Like they're pretty much saying that like listen, Erika Jayne is such a horrible person that we can only stand her when she's wasted and then we love her. Isn't that weird? Wouldn't you be hurt?
I mean, I think that what they were saying, I feel like it was like, oh, she's finally letting loose. But it was the fact that they were saying that after she verbally assaulted a 14-year-old boy.
Fuck up! Get the fuck out of here! Get the fuck out of here!
They were like, we're so happy to finally be seeing this side of her. And it's like, wait, this is what you want to see from her? Like, what? That was horrific.
And then PK's like, hey, you do it all the time. You getting it one way and getting it the other way. Oh, and Dorit's like,
I do think, by the way, Mauricio,
he's on another planet, man.
He was on another planet. I think he genuinely was being sarcastic. Like, oh, I think it's great that she did that. Like, obviously, he was he was literally being sarcastic, but still not okay.
Okay, so this is the other thing, and I really keep thinking about this myself because I was like going into this episode because I had seen all this horrible discourse already. I was like, this is going to be the darkest episode that I've ever watched on TV with them. And then I watched it, and I was like, oh yeah, I expect this out of all of them. Like this didn't shock me. It didn't surprise me. No. And my other thing is that there's such an uproar and I want to respect people's opinions and thoughts, but I was like, isn't it almost enough that Erika looks like just a walking embarrassment, that she's kind of made her own hellish world for herself? And that to me, that's why I was like, she's getting punished on a daily basis. Not that she never needs to be celebrated. We're literally going, yeah, that's fucking horrible for them all to sit around and go, we like this. We like when she verbally assaults. Us, the viewer, realizes how ridiculous it is. But I sometimes go well, why then do we need to get this upset about it if we're all on the same page? That's fucking ridiculous.
Did you see that Ronald Richards, the lawyer guy, tweeted that Erika commented, it was on his wife's Instagram.
Yep.
She goes, Lauren, get back on all fours and take it in the ass from that beast you're married to.
Yeah. Oh,
and
I did see. Yes.
Yeah, Ronald tweeted about it. He goes, it's really disappointing when your spouse, blah, 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 has nothing to do with our cases, gets verbally attacked by an older woman who is upset at her own mess or receipt or misappropriated trust account funds. At Erika Jayne, is this really necessary? And she goes, shut up. She inserted herself, bitch ass. This ain't my first rodeo. It's like,
shut up. She inserted herself. This is not my first rodeo.
Ew. It's just gross and immature. And
I keep saying Erika Jayne is a walking belch. She's that person in the corner that's farting and burping and eating and drinking and smoking. And she's like,
I'm like Mae West. I'm super funny and I like to get sexy.
Like, it's gross. Like, listen, Ronald Richards, a lot of people have, Ronald Richards is a polarizing figure in the Bravo. And I understand why. But at the same time, it's like, yo, Erika, shut up. And it goes right into you just don't seem to have any kind of empathy, and you kind of take it as the Erika Jayne show and that everybody's trying to take you down, when it's like, yo, we just need you to have a little empathy for the victims and give back some jewelry and shit that was bought by misappropriated funds. It's really nothing. It's actually nothing to do with you anymore. It's just give back the shit.
Right. Garcelle was right, though, that Erika does not need anyone else to make her look bad. She literally does it all on her own.
That's the whole thing. It's like, so it's
like he could still be like, despite all the scandal that's happened with Tom Girardi's law firm, like, despite that, there is a way to still be like an empathetic, like, character that people like to watch, and still it's like, oh, well, no matter what happened, I still feel like, she has a good heart, or like whatever it is.
Well, like, by the way, the show does not do a good job at showing Erika Jayne's heart. Like, all these, like, all her friends, like, by the way, it's happy birthday, Erika Jayne. It's your birthday today. Happy birthday. We got you something. But like, all, like, listen, if all these ladies are standing by her, that's awesome. The show does not do a good job at all of showing any sort of heart. Like, it really does not do her any justice.
Doesn't have one. Erika makes herself look bad entirely on her own.
Yes.
Like, she could have played this so differently and still had sympathy from the fans, but no. It's like she did this completely on her own, and she's shown her true colors and who she truly is. And it's honestly disgusting. Like, I don't even think it's fun to watch anymore at this point. Like, unless there's some developing thing with her case that's really going to be front and center on the show, I do not need to see her on the show anymore.
So
I think me out so much, and Lisa Rinna.
I think this is a show announcement, but Ronald Richards will be coming on the show this week. And because
there was on Beverly Hills?
No, on my podcast, on the podcast. Oh, but would it be great if all of a sudden, like, Erika goes to a party and Ronald's there, like,
hello, Ronald. Why did you get on?
Producers like set it up.
Ronald, I'm gonna soak with you, Ronald.
So
oh my God.
So there was a new lawsuit against Erika Jayne about racketeering, and she cannot go to jail for this, but it's more money she is being sued for. Ronald says the federal court clerk just issued a summons in the civil racketeering case. This means that process servers will be headed to her rental to serve her. We told her to settle a long time ago. Now it's becoming an overwhelming amount of cases to defend and manage. Like, this will be the rest of her life. Also, the other thing that I wanted to talk about Ronald this week is that he posted an edited clip of talking to Tom Girardi on the phone. He said, here's an edited clip redacting Tom Girardi's phone number. He decided to give us a call today to discuss Erika's deposition. He confirmed he speaks with her and had just spoken to her. We had a lengthy conversation and are sharing this portion of it. So he's, it's obvious that Tom and Erika are still collaborating to the extent Tom can. He also said he was seeing clients at his senior assisted living facility. You can listen to the call at his Instagram, you guys, and I'll talk to him more about that. Listen, I believe that Tom Girardi is not doing well, but at the same time, to say you're seeing clients and to say, you're involved in talking to Erika about her depositions and stuff like that, that's not that. I don't know if that's good. The amount of crimes that he's committed,
Yeah, definitely not. But wait, so what are you guys going to talk about on the show?
We're going to talk about where we're at with all of the lawsuits, that voicemail, because it's a lengthy call that they had. And I'm just curious. I'm curious from a legal perspective where we're at. They just were able to seize the earrings from Erika Jayne. So I want to know where we're in the process of getting the victim's money back. I don't think there's like, truly, this is not something that needs to be salacious, but I am curious. And especially because next week we start the Jen Shah trial at the Southern District of New York. We start the Jen Shah trial.
Oh my God.
So I am just curious what is going on with all of these things, because it's been a second since we've checked in, because this season of the show is not talking about Erika's legal struggles in a way.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, if that's going to be like a storyline, I'm interested. Otherwise, it's like, I don't want to watch her like be drunk and on Xanax and berating people. It's just
well,
like,
we're about to get that storyline this week, you guys, about Garcelle saying, okay, she definitely has a problem when she mixes her antidepressants and alcohol, which I do want to say once again, I believe it's not antidepressants. I believe it's Xanax and other things. Antidepressants, I don't want to give drugs that actually help your mental health a bad rap. So I do not want, like, I want that to stop being put out there. I have a feeling she's on things like Xanax and things like that, you know, with alcohol. And that's what's doing it.
Yeah, no, exactly. It's just like, it's definitely not the Lexapro. It's the Xanax.
Last thing about Beverly Hills I wanted to share with you, just talking about people not being able to assume any sort of guilt or ever make a mistake. So Kyle had a really bad week this week. The fans came after her and Mauricio. So this is what she puts in her story, you guys, her Instagram story. She puts the ratings for this week, and they had a season high in total viewers, 1.184 million viewers for this past week's episode. So she puts that up. And then she puts a quote from the holistic psychologist where she says, "When I allow myself to be misunderstood, plus keep living within my own values, I heal myself." So you guys, it's our fault. We misunderstand Kyle. Like, it's our fault. And she is still a queen, according to Kyle.
She's showing us who she really is. How else are we supposed to interpret her actions?
I just love that she's now a martyr of like, I've been nailed to the cross, but I keep living within my own values.
I've been nailed to the cross like this was.
That's exactly, Mickey. Ultimate Girls Trip, you started. Are you liking it?
Oh my God, I'm obsessed. It's such a good. I didn't even watch season 1, to be honest.
It's so different. It's so different than this. I wasn't
interested in the crew. It was like Kyle Richards. Like, I just like didn't care about watching it. But like Taylor Armstrong, Brandi Glanville,
Phaedra,
Vicky, Tamara, like, it's just so Phaedra, like, it's just like such an iconic crew. I like didn't need Jill when Jill was like, surprise.
But see, that's the most classic Jill Zarin moment you can have of her coming in, recreating a moment, and nobody knows who she. Like, I was like, you hurt for Jill sometimes. Which episode are you on? Have you watched all 5?
No. I'm only on episode 3.
Okay,
but I'm gonna be honest. Watching this has made me miss Vicky. Not even like Tamara, but like Vicky.
I agree.
The OG you're of right. The OC. Like, I really do miss her on my screen. I care about her, even when I know I shouldn't. And
listen, that's why she's a legend. I mean, truly, I totally agree with you in terms of like, listen, I don't like Vicky saying things about the vaccine or masks or anything. But by the way, it's Vicky. But it's Vicky. But there's a lot of Vickies out there. That's what scares me. But the thing that I love is that she's electric. I can't keep my eyes off her. Like, it almost makes Tamara should have gone on by herself on another season, because it makes Tamara look bland and boring by comparison, because she truly is Vicky's keeper in this. Vicky is just, you never know which way she's going to go. She's talking about Steve leaving her. It's a really like, I truly would love to watch Vicky date again and to watch her get her love tank filled. This past week's episode, they talk about Brooks even, and how he was the love of her life and how he dicked her down every night. Really good.
I don't know if I've gotten there. Yeah.
No, you haven't gotten there. You haven't. You're on episode 3 with they go into the crystal shop and the marijuana shop.
Yeah. But I saw the part where they were like, "You just need some good dick, Vicky. You need some good dick."
Oh, I do not need that. I do not need that. I did not.
When they're doing the sound bath, and she was like, "I'm just thinking about how many emails I need to answer, payroll and taxes." I'm just like, Vicky, I missed you.
I've been recapping it on the Patreon, and like Phaedra, for me, like, I forgot how like certain people are just engineered to do talking heads better than anybody anybody else. Like some people like Erika Jayne, to me, her talking heads always read false. But Phaedra literally in this, like the third episode, they're at the crystal shop. He goes, I once put a yoni egg in my vagina and it came out when it wanted to come out. When it came out, I went to Target. I met a man. We went on 3 dates, but we had to break up because he worshiped the devil. And I'm like, who does that? Like, what a weird, like that talking head took you on a journey. I was like, what a story. Like a yoni egg, then you meet a guy and he worships the devil. So you had to break up. Like I want to see that show.
I'm just like in general loving it because I feel like with the ex-housewives, they have like less to lose. They really don't have anything to lose. Like they're not, I feel like they are just like kind of a little bit desperate and putting on a really good show. And I'm obsessed. So I thought it was very telling. Was it Dorinda who said her greatest fear was becoming irrelevant?
Yeah.
Like that is very telling. I think it just
wait till you get to episodes 4 and 5 with Dorinda, because it's like,
I heard she goes insane.
Well, Dorinda is a perfect example of like two things can be true at once. I can really love Dorinda and root for her, and also sometimes be really horrified about her behavior and really get scared because it doesn't seem like she's able to face the things that she needs to face. Yeah. And like, I don't think this is doing her justice. Like, I don't think she'll be able to get back on Roni through this. I mean, she might, because she provides a lot of drama, but at a certain point it gets exhausting for the audience because we want to see her go to the next level. We want to see her heal. We want to see her be the best version of herself that she can,
Yep.
Okay, let me hit you with Ultimate Girls Trip season 3 cast. So the season 3 begins filming July 17th, you guys, same day that Jen Shah's trial starts. And it's dynamic duos. So we have Giselle and Candace from Potomac. We have Heather Gay and Whitney from Salt Lake. We have Alexia and Marisol from Miami. And we have Leah and Tinsley from New York. So that is the cast for season 3.
Again, I still haven't watched Miami because I'm a bad
It's great.
Housewives. I know everyone has told me it's great, and I've been binging through all of my Peacock stuff right now. So that's next. But yeah, I'm not like super stoked about that. I don't want to watch.
I want to see Tinsley for some reason. Like I miss
Tinsley, but not Leah. Like Giselle and Candace, yes. I don't know how to feel about the Miami girls yet. So yeah, I don't know. I just like this cast was announced. I was like, oh, that's going to be chaos. Like, I don't know. Whitney and Heather, I don't get excited. So I want to see
Sutton. I want to see Sutton in one of these.
I've seen like the discourse evolve about Salt Lake City and how actually disappointing it is as a franchise. And the more I think about it, the more I agree. I haven't been like, oh my God, I can't wait to sit down and watch Salt Lake City. I did at the beginning of this past season because I thought Jen Shah stuff was going to be like more prominent, and it kind of was. But like overall, I was like, it is kind of a disappointing franchise.
It is. And that's why season 3, they're already done filming, but I'm really curious because the alliances shift supposedly. And what we're seeing even from the social media, Meredith Marks and Heather Gay have been in New York with Jen Shah. They've posted a lot of social media the last week together, and even in Meredith Marks' nude pajama collection, which made me laugh. So they're really, and for Meredith Marks to stand by Jen Shah, and Jen Shah put in her stories, you guys, she said, remember, in this country, you are innocent until proven guilty. And I'm like, Meredith, really change of pace for Meredith. Like to stand up for Jen in that way is, especially from last season, of like, goodbye, baby, like, come on, like what happened? Are you standing up for Jen, or are you just against Lisa Barlow? That's what I'm curious about.
Yeah, I guess we'll see.
I don't know. So, but I agree. It's disappointing to a degree.
Yeah.
Okay, and I don't think you are a Below Deck fan per se, but just to remind everybody, tonight, Below Deck Med with Captain Sandy premieres tonight, and Below Deck Down Under, which the full season you can see on Peacock, has now moved over to Bravo. So you have a full night of Below Deck tonight, just to remind you guys. Where are you messing with Southern Charm at all?
Yes, I'm all caught up on Southern Charm.
Dude, what is like Craig and Austin? Like Austin, now I'm starting to go, oh my God, Austin's in love with Craig. Like there's like love.
Austin and especially Shep. I think that they always thought they were the stars and that Craig was kind of like the deadbeat, like punching bag of the group. And now that Craig does have a successful business, they don't know what to do with themselves. Shep especially is just like deeply, deeply insecure. And he's like, when he first came on the show, he was kind of like Jax Taylor, and that like looking back, I was like, oh, I definitely thought he was hot at the time. And as you know, the coke bloat and like the fame and all of that they just have not aged well, and they don't know what to do with themselves. And they think it'll make themselves more interesting to like latch onto, you know, a partner and settle and appear to settle down. But really just because they're like, oh, well, I guess it's time. I'm like 40 and no one else wants me. Like, I don't know. I just feel like he's like literally the Jax Taylor of Southern Charm, and he's so, so deeply insecure.
Well, and I hate standing up for Craig Conover, but I will say it's interesting. Like, it's something very simple happened. Craig got himself a girlfriend. Like that's it. You know, like he got himself and he can't. And then Austin, this week's episode, you guys, is like, we used to hang out every day. We used to live, and it's like, yeah, you idiot. It was a fucking pandemic. We were all in the same fucking houses together. Yeah. And like, yeah, you hung out every day. Life moves on. Like, and it's also that hurt people. It's like, Austin, you then went and like slept with two of the summer house. Like, you know, like it's like hurt people that I love potentially thinking that the breakup with Craig Conover caused Austin to act out with all of these ladies just to prove his worth, which is, I'm like, how sensitive. Listen, us guys, we always say women are so sensitive, so emotional. Us guys, we're the biggest pussies out there. Like, honestly, I was even watching that and I'm a big pussy. And I was like, Austin, fucking man up, dude. Like, what is going on here? Like, just tell Craig you love him and see what happens.
Right. Yeah. It's all very weird. And I usually hate that when people are like, that's what like Hannah Berner used to say. She was like, everyone just hates me because they're jealous. But in this case, they really do just seem so jealous. It's like so weird.
Yeah. And Shep, I've been re-listening to Shep's book because I think I'm going to, I think I'm
sewing.
No, Shep's book.
Oh, not
Shep's book. And it's like, listen, this is a guy that is not a professional man child. He's somebody that loves adventure, loves art, loves reading, but at the same time, it becomes so wildly prevalent and hit that like he really can't. It's really hard for him to commit. Like it's really, and you see it on the show with all of these guys. I don't know if it's a Southern thing or just a male thing, but like he's just like, no, man. And if I get married, like I don't want to ever embarrass my parents with a divorce. So I just want to adventure. Even he slips up in last week's episode.
Oh no, you froze.
It's like, you just mean you, dude. Like you're just in love with you.
You froze really fast. Like,
oh, sorry. I was just saying that Shep in last week's episode or 2 weeks ago episode said to his cousin that they weren't going to have kids yet because it would affect his travel. He goes, it would affect my travel. And then he goes, I mean, our travel.
Yeah. Like I'm not getting the vibe that he's like super obsessed with Taylor. But again, it's like, it's Jax and Brittany. It's like, oh, well, I guess it's time for me to settle down and get a girlfriend. And this is the best I can do now that I'm like, bloated and gross.
Speaking of Vanderpump Rules, happy birthday to disgraced cast member Jax Taylor, who celebrated his 43rd birthday. I don't know if you...
Do Jax Taylor and Erika Jayne have the same birthday?
No, I think Jax was like a day before Erika.
Oh my God.
But this was so funny. My friend Maritza sent me this, that Jax, little baby Couchy, and Brittany got stuck on It's a Small World ride.
I saw. Oh my God, I was dying. It was in the Vanderpump Rules subreddit.
Yes, my friend sent me the link to the.
Yeah, and the top comment was, you can come help me if you want.
Help, which is an iconic Tahoe moment, you guys, where Jax, he couldn't swim. But like, isn't that your worst? Like if you go on the It's a Small World ride, you realize by the end, you're like, oh, thank God I'm not like on mushrooms or this would really mess with me. It's like,
can you describe it? Is it just like, it's a small world?
So you're in these little boats and then you're going through these like heavily like animatronic, really beautiful design towns. But then you go through It's a Small World and you're going to China and you're going to Australia. So it changes languages. It'd be like ding gagi gogi gaga goo gagi goo goo. And they keep it go, it's just on and on. And then you're like, just like the it's really beautiful, but it's like at the same time really eerie. And especially the older you get. And they got stuck, you guys, on there. And little baby Couchy wanted off. And I was just like, I mean, for some, I was trying to find the joke there of like Jack's, like in what happens in Jax's head. Cause I love that they're a Disneyland family too, you know, like they're always at Disneyland. Like all the Vanderpump Rules people love Disneyland, which is like, that's all, you know, Disneyland is fun, but like, they're all in the mouse ears together as a family.
Disney adults.
They're Disney adults. And I was like, whatever, you know, brings you joy, go for it. But at the same time, just to like have, like, how mad did Jax get? Did he get mad? Like, does Jax lose his cool with his family at Disneyland? Or was it just, this is just funny, you know?
Oh, I wonder how long they were stuck for.
Wouldn't it be great if it was like hours? Like, it's
like you can come help me if you want.
wait. Or what I would do, I would stick them on that ride, get them stuck, and then I would play on a loop the voicemail, the faith tape.
Oh my God. If you worked there, what if you were the operator behind It's a Small World After All?
Or I would play.
Wait, what?
I would play Top Man by DJ James Kennedy over and over again.
Yeah. Or Let's Touch in Public.
Yeah, I would play Tom Sandoval covers with his new band over and over again from Tom Sandoval and the Most Extras.
Yeah, I know you're a fan of his new band.
Love it. I was talking to Kiki Monique, Talk of Shame, because we went and saw Tom live a couple months or like 2 months ago. And I got to tell you, it's all covers. It's all songs, you know, it's all like, and you know, there's a ridiculousness to it that I think is just kind of great. Like I think it's endearing when somebody's really putting their heart into it. Like, and opposed to Countess Luann, which, I mean, she's putting her heart into it too, but to me, that's like funnier on a whole different level. Like Tom's actually is good. They've got like a killer sax player and all these like professional musicians. Like it's really ballsy to do like a 13-piece band. Whereas I think that's where I got COVID, was at Countess Luann, sadly enough. Also, my cousin texted me from Columbus, Ohio, and she said she was at a DJ James Kennedy party last night in Columbus.
In Columbus?
And he was drinking.
No, he's fallen off the wagon.
Said it was really fun. I said, it was packed? She's like, no, it wasn't packed, but it was really fun. Said it was, you know, and I go, was he drinking? She goes, he was drinking. And I just said, well, I'm really curious if they're going to focus on that in this season, because I've heard some things already about him falling off the wagon. So I am curious. I don't know. Like, I mean, they're going to have to cover it, which then leads to another story I wanted to ask you about, was your opinion of the Randall Emmett article, the LA Times, Amy Kinnaman, not a hit piece. It was very it was well sourced, well researched. What did you, which by the way, this is what I think you could be doing. Like, why don't you write for the LA Times or something like that? Like, why, like, this is what could be you. This article was like,
I want to make a livable salary.
But isn't the LA Times like a
big? I left full-time media journalism. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a very precarious industry. But no, all the respect to the actual. I hate when people call me like an investigative reporter, because I'm really not. Like, that's not what I do. It's like these are the people that are actually out there, boots on the ground, reporting this stuff and digging into this stuff. And yeah, it was very well reported, and it's a really damning indictment on Randall. And thank you also for sending me like the
free, yeah, because it was behind a paywall. So I sent it to Sophie because I got it without the paywall.
Wait, as I'm saying, I'm like, damn, journalists don't make enough money. That's how I got around the paywall. By the way, I subscribed to the LA Times, and it was just one of those subscriptions when I was like trying to save money and get rid of a bunch of subscriptions. I was like, I can't remember the last time I read one of their articles. I'm just gonna like cancel my subscription. And then of course this comes out. So
well, this is a tip to like
journalism though.
If you guys are Apple fans, like you can bundle your Apple Music, the Apple News, and Apple TV. And also like I have to pay for storage with Apple. And so it's all under one. It's much cheaper if you do it all at once. So I got Apple News, and that's how I got the Randall article, because you get access to like 80 billion magazines and newspapers. And so that's how I found the article. But was there anything in the article that stood out for you? And do you think they will cover this, or would you even want to see them cover it on this season of Vanderpump Rules with Lala? Because they're going to have to explain what happened to the relationship regardless.
Yeah. Is Lala for sure back?
Yeah, they've already started filming.
Oh God. I thought that, first of all, it opens with Bruce Willis. The fact that Randall was always so frustrated at Bruce Willis, who like never had any idea what was going on, made me really sad.
Which why he had so few lines. Everybody was wondering why like Bruce Willis is in these movies, but how does he have like 4 lines in these scenes? He's like an amazing actor and he's only getting like 4 lines. And now we know is because he couldn't remember certain things, and he couldn't he does have this disease that affects your motor.
So sad.
But here's my question to you is that like, everybody's like, how dare Randall do this? And use him like this. But at the same time, I don't know. This was one of the pieces that I was like, keep thinking about. I was like, it's mutual using. I think at that point, Randall was maybe one of the only production companies that would pay Bruce Willis millions of dollars. And of course he was using him because he could sell the foreign rights. But at the same time, Bruce Willis wanted to, store as much money I'm imagining for his family and to do this. And like, yeah, it affects his overall legacy, but we're not, what did it say? He did like 17 Randall Emmett's films in the last 3 or 4 years, something ridiculous.
They were mostly like not a lot of people in the US. They were like direct to DVD or whatever.
Like the way that his business plan was like that.
Yeah, but internationally, they would be blockbusters because like the markets in Turkey or whatever country it is, they would be obsessed with like the fact that it was Bruce Willis or Sylvester Stallone or whoever it was.
Yeah.
So that was kind of like their business plan. But yeah, I had no idea that he actually was like, working closely with so many like real legitimate Hollywood stars. I really thought that he was just doing like those, low budget direct to DVD like movies.
Yeah.
I don't know.
The article
really did have like a prolific career going for a while, or very lucrative career. And then, he ended up owing so much money and has. I
mean, he's in deep. I mean, like it's all falling apart.
Really deep. Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to keep, and I'm curious how they will handle this. And I got to say, people were mad that I was like saying Lala got out at the right time, but she truly did. Like, I really truly think I was like, if you compare it to Erika Jayne, like she was able to do it in Erika Jayne, like, tanked it. Because I was explaining to the audience, I was like, remember Erika Jayne got out supposedly because she found out Tom was cheating? And I was like, Tom, that was from 2011. And I had from sources within that family that they were well aware of the cheating when it happened. So it wasn't something that just all of a sudden, that's why she left. She knew this shit was going down. Like, she did know. She was even deposed a couple of times and never sat for the depositions. Yeah. So she stayed too long. Whereas Lala, I have a feeling, left because of the cheating. And who knows, maybe she did know that this was like a house of cards, but she got out a year before the cards fell. I
never believed fully that Lala left because of cheating. I really figured it was because he ran out of money.
Really? I feel like she was like kind of, I feel like that's why Lala is so mad at him.
If your husband looked like that, would you give a shit if he should?
Yeah. Hey man, I'm just happy you're getting something. That's amazing. Hey, just hats off to you, dude. Well, listen, that's what I said. All the money I knew something was up because I was like, if this dude really had real money, he'd fix that chin. There's just scientifically, there's just no reason if you have that you could get a chin. I hate to be mean like that. Listen, I have horrible things wrong with my body, but if I had the money, I'd try to fix them. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. I mean, he doesn't really look like a guy that, is spending on his appearances. That's for sure.
As we start winding down, we also had firings on Friday in the news dump. Real Housewives of Orange County cast members, Dr. Jen, who had the cement leg, and the husband that spelled his name Ryne, Ryan. Dr. Jen is off, and Noella, 2 of the newbies, are let go from OC, which means Heather Dubrow won and does not have to deal with Noella for another season. I think you actually did watch some episodes of OC last season, did you? Or did you?
I watched the whole season.
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. What do you think of the firings?
I literally didn't even hear the news about Dr. Jen because that's how little anyone cared. But I think it's just so crazy that OC keeps doing this. They keep like bringing on like the one season, trying to see if they fit. It's like, why is their casting department so bad? Noella, on the other hand, I think deserved another shot.
I do too. I mean, listen, I didn't like Noella, but I thought I would have loved to have seen. Yeah, I mean, like, I think she forced it really heavy-handedly. Listen, yeah. I was willing. I think with any Housewives, you need to sign them to a 2-year contract and fulfill it regardless. Just because even I would have wanted to see Dr. Jen awkwardly date because her and Ryan split up. And, you know, I would have liked to have seen that. Like, there are storylines that could be there. Now, my curiosity, though, because the last time OC did this was when they let go of Kelly Dodd and Bronwyn, and they announced in the same press release that Heather Dubrow was coming back. So my theory, like, I feel like we should prepare ourselves for an OG to come back. I would love it to be Vicky, but I have a feeling Tamra will come back.
I think Tamra will too. But yeah, I would love for it to be Vicky, honestly. I'm sorry if that
listen, that's what they're, you know, listen, this is the same argument you could have with Ramona too. Is like, people just want to see Ramona and the mess she creates. You just have something you need something to temper all of that and kind of have a foundation so these people can get crazy, but at the same time, we don't be completely offensive, racist, all of this other shit. You know, we can't go completely dangerous. So keep an eye out for that, you guys. Also, I don't know, I'm not doing it this season, but the Bachelorette premieres on Monday. We have 2 Bachelorettes on this season. Will you mess around with the Bachelorette this season?
I think just out of curiosity. And
how long will you give it?
I don't know, but I always like the Bachelorette more than the Bachelor. So I didn't watch like the last few seasons
because of the dudes.
Yeah, because of the dude. Like, no. Oh, I mean,
no. I mean, because you find it silly when the dudes are like trying to compete. Like, is that why you like the Bachelorette more?
And yeah, I just like the concept more of like dudes being dudes and fighting over ladies versus like the fake drama that always happens on like The Bachelor, where they like really set women, pit them against each other. So yeah, I don't know. I'm probably just out of curiosity. I want to see how they do it with the 2 Bachelorettes, but it probably won't last. So we'll see.
Okay, the final 2 things I wanted to talk to you about. Armie Hammer, there's been
in the Cayman Islands,
great debate. So this started like with a Dumois blind, you guys, where they said Armie was working as a selling timeshares in the Cayman Islands, where we know his family is from, and he has, you know, he's been there for a very long time over the years and knows it very well. His wife or ex-wife Elizabeth and their kids live there. So all of a sudden, this got put into a blind over at Dumois. It was immediately disproven through a tweet account. Let me go through the story. They said they called there. The timeshare place was like, that would be great publicity, but he is definitely not working here. But then we got pictures of Armie in an employee's uniform walking in. We got pictures of him selling a timeshare from a weird angle. So it is now, you know, almost guaranteed that he wants that we're supposed to know that he is doing this timeshare. There was also a blind, I believe, in today's Dumois saying that Armie and Elizabeth and their kids were spotted at the airport in Miami. But first off, what do you think? And the other question to you about this is, part of this reads like Armie and his camp want this to be out there. They want us to know.
I think that'd be so weird if they wanted us to know.
Let me do a theory though.
It's so embarrassing.
Remember this month on Discovery, the Armie Hammer family docuseries comes out, where it's going to stir up, I think, a lot of stuff again. Do you think this is this kind of like, look, this boy is trying to do good? And it's like, I love the Cayman Island town are like surrounding him, protecting him almost. And he maybe now is totally getting back together with his wife or his like family man. Is this the ultimate rehab of image to say, listen, I guess I can't be a movie star anymore, but I want to still earn a decent salary and make a living and do good. Like, I feel like this is a PR campaign more than something that we should be embarrassed and laughing about.
When you put it that way, maybe, yeah. Because it's always been like a thing that like, oh, his family is so loaded, which isn't actually true.
Anymore.
Yeah, anymore. And so, yeah, maybe it's like, I just want to make an honest living. Leave me alone.
Exactly. Like he's all clean cut. Look, he's tucking his little polo into his
That would be
khakis.
so creepy if you like walked into this like timeshare place in the Cayman Islands, an Army Hammer, like just creepy. There's something really creepy about it. Like, I'm glad he's making an honest living, sure, and not, hopefully preying on people at all. I mean, timeshares are very predatory to begin with.
Yeah. He's at a used car dealership in the Caymans. Like, let's get you into this BMW today.
There's something so weird about it. Like, I feel like he knows that he's kind of like hiding out in the.
Well, yeah, I think that totally.
U.S. Like, I don't know. I feel like he's like safe. I can't talk right now. I think that he feels like he's safe on Cayman Islands soil from getting like arrested by the FBI.
But then there are all these like spottings, like Bigfoot, like the Miami sighting. He was in LA. Like my friend saw him walking in LA a couple months ago in the hills.
No,
like with
it's giving the end of Hannibal Lecter movie when Hannibal like in the wherever he is in the tropics, and he's like, I'm about to have a friend for dinner.
Well, so keep an eye out. I feel like this is part of an imagery app, but also I'm jaded and desensitized, you guys. So everything might just be what it is. And this is just normal. But for me, I now look through like I think things are being played so you can get back to this career that he wants so badly. Finally, because this was your daily harvest story, which I don't know if there was any update on that, but I don't know if this is, I wanted to know if you heard about this story yesterday. The 2 men were hospitalized after an explosion at Gwyneth Paltrow's Goop store in Long Island. And the police blotter for the East Hampton Star says that there was a strange scene at Goop's 4 Bay Street location in Sag Harbor. The 2 men told police that rubbing alcohol had been placed in some of the candles in the store, which caused a large explosion and flames. The officers acted fast, applied ice packs to the victim's wounds. One man who suffered from a large burn on his back and his ears was flown out of there. But the village police chief said he's seen nothing like this in his 26 years that he's been working as an officer, and said that the rubbing alcohol had been added to the candles to melt marshmallows for s'mores after a store employee had seen the technique on TikTok. The department did not respond to a request for comments from today at the time of publication. But isn't this just a weird story? This almost like, I was like, this is almost Soapy centric, because I was like, the Goop employees are putting like lighter fluid in the candles, and then there's an explosion. Like it's like Goop doesn't need, just sell your vagina candles,
That is bizarre. I'm glad that, it wasn't worse and that people weren't more seriously injured. That's freaking scary though.
I want to let you go because I've taken up too much of your time, but Addison Rae's dad, that's the only thing. Did you hear about that story?
Having an affair with a girl.
He's with a 26-year-old, looks like Addison Rae, and he said he was not married. He is still married to Addison Rae's mom. The guy then was like seen on TikTok, like trying to grab the ass of a 19-year-old. And it turns like this guy, Addison Rae's dad, is a major player. So I just wanted to add that to the list of Tristan Thompson, Nick Cannon, Elon Musk, and Addison Rae. Stop sleeping with them, everybody. Did you hear,
Addison
like, isn't this
Rae's
gross?
Addison Rae's dad.
Yeah, Addison Rae's dad, not Addison. Sleep with Addison Rae all you want.
Yeah, you're like, don't pin this on Addison. She can't.
No, it's just I don't even want to learn this guy's name. And all of a sudden I was like reading these full articles because there was a Page 6 story where the girl that he was dating for like this 7-month relationship released all of their text messages and all of this stuff where he's like, send me pictures, send me. Page 6 did a really deep article about this, which was really good. But the articles are like, we'll be the biggest power couple, babe. We'll be a power couple. Just hold on for a little bit more.
I can't wait to dig into this Page 6.
Oh, you're going, dude, this might be an article for you. This is so good.
21 years older than her. Like, ugh.
And speaking of that, fuck you, Tristan Thompson. You sent flowers to Khloe Kardashian. And I got to say, maybe a fuck you to Khloe Kardashian because you put on an Instagram story, thank you to the flowers, and then you deleted it. Like we didn't, like you all of a sudden realized that's embarrassing.
Wait, the flowers were from Tristan?
From Tristan.
Oh my God.
He's still trying. He's still both of you guys are nutty. Like, I just don't even we just need to, I need to stop paying attention to this shit. Cause it makes my heart hurt.
He hates her. He likes the lifestyle that she has and that he has with her. Like, I really think that he's like a gold digger when it comes to Chloe because he clearly hates her.
Well, there's something deeply psychologically wrong. And I don't know if it's gold digging, but it's something dark. Like, I think he should be the next villain, the big bad in Stranger Things season 5. Like, they have to team up. The kids team up to fight Tristan Thompson.
Oh my God.
It's like, it's Vecna, and it's like, I've got a new person more evil than I am. Welcome, TT, Tristan Thompson.
Oh my God.
Sophie, what is going on for you this week? What do we have to look out for? Is there any personal recommendations you have for the people this week? Are you going to a wedding next weekend? What's happening?
No, I actually have the next few weekends off, and I'm very excited because I actually can't remember the last time I just got to like sleep in. I just like want to just take a couple days and just sleep in. I like love sleeping in.
Does your body allow you to sleep in? Because as I get older, my body doesn't let me do that.
Oh yeah, my body loves
your body's
it.
a well-tuned machine. Yeah,
I know. My body really is a 7-Eleven. But
your body's a bodega.
I know it really is. I'm obsessed with Caroline Calloway responding to her landlord's lawsuit. Everyone go check that out.
Wait, explain to the people, like, people are saying that she might have written her own law documents.
She did. She definitely did. You have to read it to believe it. She talks about the fact that because she added a $3,000 chandelier to her apartment that gave an old world grandeur to an otherwise unassuming studio, that she shouldn't have to pay $40,000 in rent. Even though she ended up taking the chandelier with her.
The Caroline thing is fat. I mean, the saga of Caroline Calloway is so wild.
I know.
Where's the Caroline Calloway HBO Max series? Where's the, like, I mean, when are we going to get that?
There are definitely like documentaries coming from what I've heard. Not like with her permission, but like about her.
Did you already link that in your stories? Because if you didn't, will you link it tomorrow? So when this podcast comes out, they can go to your Instagram and they can like click on it.
Yes, I will absolutely link it so that everyone can read it.
So you guys go subscribe to Sophie's Substack. Remember, the first season of So True with Sophie Ross is out. The full season is out there. They are worth listening to. The second season, I believe, is going to start sometime in August, potentially.
Yes, coming later in the summer.
So if you subscribe now, the moment those new episodes hit, it'll go right into your feed. Remember, positive reviews, 5-star reviews really do help the placement. And it especially helps somebody like Sophie's podcast, because you don't want people to forget about it. You want people to keep going back to it. So by the time we get to August, by the time you get to August, there will be a fervor. There will be a fever pitch.
Thank you.
Well, thank you, Sophie. It was great to talk to you after a couple of weeks. Tell your dude I said hi. Tell your mom I said hi. And you guys out there, have a great week. Have a great week.
Have a great week, everyone.
Have a great week, everyone.
I missed you.
Oh,